Auburn has officially hired South Florida head coach, well, now former South Florida head coach, Alex Golesh, to be their next head coach. And this was the craziest last 10 hours that I have seen in a coaching search. We're going to go through the hire, break it down. Blaine Crain, former Western State, Colorado wide receiver. David Cohn, former Michigan quarterback. Guys, got a call last night. Woke up this morning. We were ready to go with one thing. And again, this was from somebody that knows. Somebody is exactly right. The last time when the Auburn head coaching search was happening. And it was all pointing to DJ Durkin being announced at 10 a.m. And just like the craziness of college football and these head coaching moves, something changed in the last minute. I don't know if it was backlash from somebody that has a lot of pull, or somebody said yes, because I still want to go over what happened and why it was leaning toward DJ Durkin and why I'm shocked that Golesh actually took this. But just your initial reaction, Blaine, Golesh being the head coach at Auburn now.
Huzzah! Huzzah, huzzah. I love it. I love it. Bring his Russian ass in here. We need some Russia at Auburn right now. All right. We need some law and order in Auburn right now. And from a fit standpoint, look, you saw what he did at USF. You saw what he did with Byron Brown. You have Deuce Knight waiting in the wings. If you're Deuce Knight, why wouldn't you want to play for a guy like this to expand the offense and make yourself comfortable? He can walk into anybody's living room and get any recruit. I mean, the guy has the mouthpiece. We all know that. And I think he's got some shit about him. I think he's got some dog in him. I think he's got some killer in him. I go back to when he beat Liberty's ass and got into it with that coach. That's what Auburn needs. We don't need anybody walking on the sidelines panicking or anything like that. Give me cool, suave, Alex Golesh, the Russian mindset. Russian planes don't crash.
Yeah, Cone, I mean, come on, dude. We were in communication last night and this morning, all ready to go. And I've got to tell the story. I've just got to tell how it went, because this is just, man, this is the most Auburn shit ever, dude. This is it's good. It actually, I think, turned out in a good way. Now we'll see. There's no guarantees. You said that a million times, David, especially nowadays in the NIL world. There's no guarantees. But what a reversal in the last, hour and a half. It feels like. I mean, how outside looking in, how do you feel about this one?
Well, it feels to me like Alex Golesh has the right mentality to be able to coach in the SEC. That's what I witnessed from the way that he preps teams and from his demeanor on the sideline. Like you said, there are no guarantees, though. I mean, in 3 seasons at South Florida, well, he's 23-15. Certainly Brian Harsin, who was at Auburn previously, would have had a better track record to get excited about at Boise State. Or certainly Hugh Freeze, who had success not just in the SEC, but in the SEC West. Clearly that didn't work out. So there are no home run hires, but I really like his demeanor. And I'll tell you something else. Having the recruiting pipeline to South Florida, where some of the best talent and some of the best athletes in the country are, I think that'll bode well for Auburn.
Look, to Blaine's point, we've talked about this. The mentality of Auburn needed a change at the top. This almost, it's okay, I'm not okay, you're not okay, but that's okay. I love what you're doing over there at Average Joe's. The whole I'm not okay, you're not okay, but it's okay thing. That's got to get done. And I was so ready to get on here and literally put John Cohen's feet to the fire for doing all this just to hire DJ Durkin. But I got to tell the story of why we were getting ready to do the DJ Durkin video this morning and how it happened. And to Blaine's point, I think this kind of shows the type guy that Golesh is, and that'll make sense in 1 minute. So quickly, got a call last night from a guy that knows, not going to say his name over the airwaves, but he knows, has been in it a while. We all respect him a lot. And telling me that, look, he was involved in helping get John Summerall to Auburn. John Summerall wanted to go to Auburn, right? Which is not, a lot of people have heard that. So John Summerall's number guaranteed at another place was $24 million. That was the number that Auburn needed to match or exceed. Well, John Cohen went in under that number and lowballed what he was getting at other places. Summerall, even though that happened, was still trying to negotiate it, and I'm sure would have worked something out to be the Auburn head coach. And during the meetings with Summerall and Auburn's AD John Cohen, DJ Dickens obviously brought up, and Summerall said he would interview him, and Summerall would decide if he would keep him or not. And allegedly that was okay with Cohen. Well, fast forward to rewind to a couple days ago, when all of a sudden you started hearing, hey, well, John Summerall's eliminated Auburn. John Summerall is now down between going to Florida or staying at Tulane or whatever. And people are like, what the hell happened? Well, allegedly it leaked out from Auburn's facility to John Summerall and his agent that Auburn was working on an extension and a raise for DJ Durkin. So John Summerall's like, dude, what the hell? You told me I could interview him. It was going to be my decision. Yet you're working on getting him an extension and a raise before I'm even named the head coach and before I've even decided if I want to keep him or not. So Summerall's like, no, man, this is bullshit. Like, I'm not starting off on this foot. I'm out. And the next move for Cohen was Golesh. But the problem was that Summerall and Golesh have the same agent. So the agent that just dealt with this with Summerall and Auburn when it was shady and all this, there's no way in hell you would advise another one of your high-profile guys that's trying to get a bigger job to take the Auburn job and deal with this. But and that's why we're sitting here. It's like, all right, well, there's no options left. You're not going to hire Charles Kelly. Drink staying at Missouri. Clark Lee staying at Vandy. So it's most likely got to be DJ Durkin. And they're going to set this up as like roster retention. And this is what it's about this way or the other. But now that this has just been announced, it seems like Blaine that Golesh said, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to go to Auburn and win despite this shit, which I love that attitude. I love that. I'm making the decision. It's me. I don't care. I'm going to Auburn and taking it. It's just this last 10 hours, and you're seeing Auburn beat writers. You're seeing a lot of people that are like, oh, my God, I've never seen something change like this. I'm telling you guys, it was Durkin until, midnight, 1 o'clock, something like that. This is just nuts. I think that's actually how it went down.
Something had to change, right? Because it's not like this was the only thing Golesh had, right? There's plenty of teams reaching out to Golesh to be there. Like, I'm interested to see what the contract looks like.
Looks like 6 years is what I'm seeing. So
okay.
I don't know if they went to 24. Would that be six years of $4 million each? Is that what you were kind of alluding to, Jake?
Yeah, right. I'd want to see the numbers.
So we'd have to know if they got to 24, which I guess is what
because it would be crazy to me if they hosed John Summerall on that money and then, gave Alex Golesh whatever he wanted.
So do you know anything about DJ Durkin being retained now in this situation?
See, that part I do not know. I don't know. I would think if he said that the same thing to Golesh that he did to John Summerall, and Golesh is took the job, I would assume right now that DJ would be kept. I would assume that right now. But again, bro, this switch. I mean, Blaine, you were right there. You were right there when I got that call last night.
No. I mean,
this person was furious because he was like an architect.
Why? It's just, to me, it's just, why pull that? Why do all that just to hire Alex Golesh?
Yeah, and again, look, Silverfield just said he was going to Arkansas too. Remember, Golesh, it was reported, was going to Arkansas. So I don't think it's a coincidence that Silverfield and Golesh announced at the same time. Like, obviously, Golesh ended up deciding to go to Auburn, which then led Arkansas to have to go to Silverfield.
Well, again, I find it weird that the sitting athletic director would mandate that a new head coach have to retain the defensive coordinator. At that point, I mean, if you like DJ Durkin that much, then just elevate him to be the next head coach if there's like a mandate or an ultimatum.
See, that's what
this situation at least makes a little bit more sense than John Summerall coming over from the defensive side of the ball being forced to retain the defensive coordinator rather than Alex Golesh, who has come over primarily from the offensive side of the ball, retaining a defensive coordinator who, when he was just the DC and wasn't having to take on the head coaching responsibilities as well as the interim, had a really good defense this season.
Yeah, it does seem like the fit if Durkin was going to stay. It does make more sense. I very rarely in this business am I shocked. I'm telling you, as of last night at 11 o'clock, it was DJ Durkin. I don't know if Cohen made one more call or Golesh just said, look, I'm going to go against whatever my agent said, but I think from a mentality,
like someone held Cohen's feet to the fire a little bit.
It's
right. Something had to happen behind the scenes because this just doesn't all add up to me. This doesn't make sense to me. Why you pull all those shenanigans just to run over and hire Alex Golesh? And and now what it makes me think, one, who's Auburn going to retain? Right, not only DJ Durkin, but on the offensive side of the ball, is that just a white, clean slate? And who is Golesh going to bring with him from South Florida? So there's a lot of unanswered questions when it comes to this.
Well, there is, because it's totally out of left field, but I think in a good way.
Mhm.
Like I again,
I do too.
I don't know if it
Yeah,
was like
look, I just
stop the
believe in a
steal
guy who
moment.
lived in Moscow, Russia until he was 7 and moved to New York. You
Yeah.
know, like I believe in guys like that. You want to talk about cutting glass and getting out of the mud. There's nothing more than getting out of the mud than born in Moscow, Russia, and then
Yeah.
going to coach at USF.
Yeah, you're dodging the KGB just to go to school to learn to try and get out.
Oh,
Like,
KGB to the SEC.
KGB to
Put
the
that
SEC.
patent by Crain and Company, David Company.
Yeah. But look, I again grade the hire quickly, Blaine. Grade A through F.
I'm gonna go B+.
Okay, Coney, what do you think?
B+ in an era where how can you go higher than B+? I watched
For
Brian
sure.
Kelly be the winningest coach at Notre Dame, go to a school where 3 coaches in a row won national championships. He got fired after 2 years. Jimbo Fisher won a natty at Florida State, goes to Texas A&M with all that oil money, gets fired. You can't be an A hire anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? But all right, we're going to keep breaking this down. There's a lot of movement going on. Make sure you're locked into Crain and Company. We appreciate you guys. And look, we're going to be back soon. Got a ton that's going on. Auburn hires Alex Golesh in the burning the midnight oil. Just absolutely insane. We appreciate you guys.
Congrats, guys.
Thank you.